Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we finished up collecting the L cluster. That is now a complete collection, and we are working on dealing with some of these issues over here, as well as expanding into a couple of these regions. So that is great. We're also working on our borders, and I'd like to work on our trade. I'm not sure if this is the episode for that. We'll have to see. I mean, we can take a quick peek. This is where they've been spawning. Okay, yeah, that definitely does hurt. There's no doubt about that. I think we will want to work on our trade, but we'll want to solidify all of this first. So that'll be fine. We, of course, need to work on our starbase capacity. Expanding over here will help that. There's no doubt about that.
A study has been completed.
Hello, that's our flak artillery. Good to go. I do want... I want some of these repeatable techs. But at the same time, we're going to grab robotic workers. We're not going to use them, I think. It's not particularly useful for us. But let's just get that out of the tree, if we can possibly do that. I'm not currently working on expanding our fleets because I'm much more interested in getting some of these construction projects completed. So we'll do that. Robo-modding. I mean, we'll unlock the feature, I guess, but we won't use robots.
Construction venture completed.
Excellent. Let's get some more anchorages built up here. These star fortresses are still underway. There's no point in upgrading these anchorages to citadels, so we don't need that extra building slot. So, or actually those 2 extra building slots. Now that did bump up our starbase cap. That's a very, very good thing for us. Citadels of Faith, huh? Okay. Well, that's all well and good, but I think we'll grab xenomorph armies first. That should be fine. Let's check in on our colonies. Yeah, there's definitely some things to do there. Robo-modding, of course, finishing up. Let's just go ahead and grab Marauder missiles for now. Our Empire capital currently requires some housing, so we'll put in a city district. This Forge world needs a job. Easy enough. This Tech world needs housing. Again, easy enough. This Generator world needs a structure. And the question is, what are we going to go for here? I feel like we shouldn't go for any sort of big job hogs here. We already have a civilian industry. I think that we should probably put in an exotic gas refinery here. Because we're running out of space in terms of housing. And we still have lots of jobs available, so we need to think about that. On this tech world, we do need to put in a research lab. On this forge world, we should definitely put in an alloy foundry. There we go.
War has been declared.
On us? Oh, it's on us. Okay. We will look at that in a moment. Okay, so this mining world, we need a structure on it. We've got decent housing. We can actually afford to put jobs on this one, so we'll put in an alloy foundry. So, the Theclac regime has declared on us. I'm not hugely surprised by this. The question is, do we have claims on the systems that we lost? We actually don't. Noted. Are we at war with their entire federation? Yes, we are. Okay. Including over here. Noted. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. We do have some fleets ready to go. I was definitely not prepared to go to war right now. We are working on this. We should definitely move the first combat fleet over to Atmir. 100%. And I guess this means that we need to refocus on alloys again and bumping up our materials. I'm actually considering changing my mind on this world. Or, we have 7 districts available. No tile blockers here. I'm just thinking, we have 5 unemployment. Most of those are necrophyte jobs, but we don't actually have jobs for them. We could do this. So here's the idea. We put in a mineral purification plant here, and then we would construct mining districts here for the jobs. And then we would be able to put in a couple more generator districts. There we go. That'll be fine. Now, as far as this war goes, this definitely changes the landscape. We're still working on bringing this shipyard up to date. We can certainly reinforce this fleet. There's no doubt about that. And that's going to come in from Delphine Station. That's absolutely fine. How much is a Titan? Now, only Canopus is currently set up to produce Titans. A Titan is... let's see, Titans are here. 2380, and then there's also Juggernauts, which we actually haven't set up. We should probably update our fleets, actually. Do we know anything about these guys' tech? Not really, but we see these guys. Okay, heavy lasers and disruptors over here from the Taverites. Noted. And they were pretty even in their shields and armor. Okay, so we may actually want to change off of picket ships then, and instead run, like, interceptors on our Anxiety class corvettes. We would want, ideally, some penetration. We would want to really blow through their shields. So probably Gauss cannons or Stormfire autocannons. So that would be an average damage of 7.57, minus 75% armor damage, but plus 25 hull damage. Okay, these bypass shields and armor. So we would then need something to chip through armor, which would be gamma lasers. Something like that. Side jump drives, tachyon sensors, probably not picket combat computers, but rather swarm combat computers at this point. So that now they get that plus 10% evasion buff. We put in the advanced afterburners. There is no point, in my opinion, in putting shields on corvettes. None. Because... yeah, look at that power drain. It doesn't actually change our evasion. Our evasion is capped, I believe, at 90%. But I think we're much better off with armor on corvettes. Okay. These destroyers. I don't think we want a picket ship stern. I think instead we want an interceptor ship stern. Or maybe a gunship stern. We've already got 2 gamma lasers and a small phase disruptor. I kind of want to switch this small weapon over to a Gauss cannon, I think. That's a range of 50 compared to a range of 40 on the small gamma laser. And then we will have dual medium gamma lasers. And then small psionic shields, that's all well and good. Perhaps a shield capacitor? Now our power is actually low. We would need a reactor booster here to make this happen. And then we could have this go to... probably keep this at picket, actually. I think that's fine. I do kind of wish that we didn't have to have this advanced reactor booster. I suppose we could drop a small psionic shield, or just drop that down to a hyper shield. Let's see, that puts our shields at 625 compared to 720. What does this do for our evasion? 47 to 47.8. So 0.8% evasion and better shields. I think we'll take that. Okay, we've got the large Gauss cannon here. We could go for the kinetic artillery instead. Plus 100% shield damage. And I think we will. The phase disruptors, of course, penetrate the shields and armors and do hull damage. So this is good against shields, this is good against armor, this is good against everything. And this is also good against hull, so I like that. We're a little shy on our power here, but we can upgrade to an advanced reactor booster. Can we get rid of that reactor booster? No, we cannot. But that does, however, mean that we can probably get this up to a psionic shield. Yes, we can. Okay, so that's the Vainglory class cruiser there. And now for the battleships. I want to run dual... Oh, wait, I actually want to go back to the cruiser here. This is on line right now, and we actually want it in slightly closer than line. I would like to have them be actually in picket range, because they can't use their small gamma lasers in line range. Okay, so now with the battleships, they're going to use their kinetic artillery for sure. That does 45.7 damage, yeah, kinetic artillery. And then the artillery core, let's see, that's range of 100 and range of 80. We could just have these be pure kinetic artillery. It'd be bad against armor. Neutron launchers are good against armor, though. So we could do something like this. Good against shields and hull, good against armor and hull. Something like that. Now, it doesn't have enough power, obviously. We are on 0-point reactors, so we'd have to use reactor boosters, and that would do the trick right there. A ship of that design is currently being built. Awkward. We will cancel those. And I actually want to revisit these then, because, let's see, we can't actually change this over to using those missile tech, but we could switch this, kind of. Actually, no, we couldn't. I'm not going to bother with that then. The cruisers, on the other hand, nope, they can't be switched either. Noted. The battleships, however, should be able to. Like that. And of course, we'll have to do that. Actually, just that's enough. Feels like it shouldn't be, but okay, we'll put in a shield capacitor. Okay, so there's our battleships, and now our Titans. We only have the Perdition Beam, but I'm perfectly happy having it be something like this. Oh, I didn't change our combat computer on the battleship. I should do that. This is currently set to artillery. Yeah, that is fine. Shield dampener is also fine. I kind of think, though, that we might want nanobot clouds instead. Gonna ditch this shield capacitor for an advanced reactor booster. And otherwise, this looks great. Now, the Juggernaut, we'll get to that. That's going to be a while. But the battleship, I want to check this. Yeah, this is on artillery, so it'll stay at 80 range. It can actually afford to get a little further, but no further than that, actually. Yeah, that'll be fine. And the Titan will stay at artillery range. That's good. Okay, the ion cannon is fine as is, except... Can we get away with a psionic shield instead of a hyper shield? No, we absolutely cannot. Okay, noted. That's a level 4 shield, actually. Okay, now the Juggernaut. I do like the Giga Cannon concept. Do we want the Juggernaut to be a carrier? Well, we'll deal with this in a moment. Can we get a different... No, we can't. Okay. So let's get rid of all of this and make this make a little bit more sense. Now, crystal-infused plating is 660 hull points compared to the 870 of large neutronium armor. So I don't feel like that's useful. Let's put in large neutronium armor like this. I'd love to put in psionic shields all through here. Now, that is instantly putting our power below where I'd like it to be. So we'll put in some additional neutronium armor here. We do get an aura on this, and I would love... to have it be like ship weapons range. Or actually not even ship weapons range. Strike craft, point defense damage, and point defense firing rate. That's actually pretty good considering that we're kind of transitioning into missiles. So we have these improved strike craft and these amoeba flagella. The amoeba flagella do more damage and are actually just kind of better. Amoeba flagella it is. That is using up a lot of power. We're probably going to have to ditch some of these hyper shields. Or rather, some of these psionic shields. Now, we don't actually have access here to missiles. So we'll have to use gamma lasers to chip through armor, giga cannons to chip through shields. So something kind of like this. And then maybe a disruptor for hull, or do we have anything that's... Actually, plasma cannons are great against hull. Now that's 60 range for these closer in weapons. We actually may want to target something a little further out. Medium-sized Gauss cannons are range 75, range 50, range 60, range 60. Gauss cannons are the longest range that we have. Okay. That'll stay at 150 range. It'll be able to fire the Giga Cannons at that range, and if they get in close, then we'll have the Gauss Cannons. And of course, we've got all those Amoeba Flagella. Excellent. So let's put in some reactor boosters and see how much power that gives us. 495. So we'd actually have to drop 2 psionic shields and instead put in neutronium armor. That's okay. And then we can drop 1 advanced reactor booster and put in, say, a shield capacitor. Actually, no, we can't, because we only have 5 power here. We could just put in a regenerative hull tissue. I suppose that's fine. And then let's just get ourselves a name. Endemic class Juggernaut. I like it. We'll get rid of the Woe class Juggernaut. There we go. And the Contagion class Colossus currently is using the Divine Enforcer, which is... Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Currently using the Divine Enforcer, which is, of course, nice. Shines Divine Truth. Indeed. This is a lot of available power. Okay, let's get rid of all that. And let's put in psionic shields and neutronium armor. A nice even split there. And technically, we have tons of available power. But I guess we'll save that. Okay. So that'll be fine. We'll take a look at what these guys, who are our primary enemy, actually have a little bit later on. But let's have these guys pull back, and we're going to need to upgrade these. That is going to be fairly expensive to upgrade all of our fleets. But it is, I'm afraid, necessary. Well, this was definitely not the plan. There's no doubt about that. I do want to continue building these star bases over here. I'd love to have additional influence. Unfortunately, that is not going to be a thing. I'm actually going to move this upgrade to Star Fortress down. We want to get these shipyards online ASAP. Excellent. I'm also going to sell off a few consumer goods and a few volatile motes and some food. And we're going to use this money to buy in a bunch of alloys. Okay, that'll do for now. Alloys are, of course, super expensive to buy in. We'll go ahead and reinforce the first combat fleet. And I believe, yeah, that even queued up the Titan. So that's great. Now, the Canopus Station, I would love to output this Juggernaut. We're currently lacking some money to make that happen, or rather some alloys to make that happen. But that's okay.
A hostile fleet has appeared to us.
Okay, where is it? Okay, that's these guys. That's a little on the powerful side. How strong is this station? 16.1k. This one is only 7k. Yeah, it needs work. We were definitely caught off guard. Let's take a look at these guys. We actually don't have the ability to look at them. They're not close enough. Okay. Noted.
Vessels have been refitted.
Okay, the second combat fleet has been refitted. These guys have popped in at the Zeepak Vortex. Now that's only 2k, but we were not yet ready to defend Zeepak Vortex. We can, however, reinforce this fleet from Canopus and respawn up over here. That'll be fine. This is definitely going to make things more challenging because I was not ready to fight. We're currently working on our defenses. Yeah, these guys are going to fight up here. That is expected, of course. Xenomorph armies. Okay, that's all well and good. Mega art installations are next. Okay. So we should, in theory, have no real problem winning this battle. Like, this isn't much of a battle. Their destroyer is already out. Shield and armor penetration. Minus to shield damage. Penetration. Yeah, okay. Noted. Now, their battleship is going to be lost here. That's what I thought. Get out of here. These guys belong with the second combat fleet. Actually, they belong with the third combat fleet. I am dumb. Okay. They belong with the third combat fleet. Get in there. Okay. This is now ours, and we're just going to sit in the Zeepak Vortex for right now. We're missing war goals. We don't have any claims on them currently. I would like to get out of this war ASAP. We're not really in a position where we're ready for these wars. I do want to build these mining and research stations over here. And the first combat fleet is still very slowly upgrading. The Delphine station is not particularly efficient yet. Okay. It looks like these guys are potentially planning on launching a pretty heavy attack at Heaven's Gate. Noted. Our fleet here isn't amazingly powerful. If they're smart, they're actually heading down over this way. We may be able to determine that. Actually, yeah, they definitely are heading this way. This is the correct direction for them to go. This is by far the weaker station. We should come over here and reinforce this, and we should also reinforce that fleet. Now, we're at 53 influence currently. I'm just thinking here. Yeah, this is going to be complicated, this defense. We were not prepared for this, but I don't think that this is by any means insurmountable. Our first combat fleet is very powerful. Unfortunately, we are not as powerful in our second and third combat fleets, but we are in a reasonably defensive location. A reasonably defensible location. But it looks like they're going to be hitting pretty hard down here, which is one of the reasons why I actually want to focus pretty hard on defending Wodriaks. That said, I want to sell off some of these alloys, or rather some of these minerals, and I want to buy in alloys. Now, that's pretty expensive. I understand that. Okay. I also want to cancel our buy order of minerals for right now, and I want to put in a monthly buy order of, say, maybe 50 alloys would be about the same price? Something like that. I probably should have shift-clicked that, but that's okay. I also, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, want to sell off a little bit of food so that we have this trade go through next month. Okay, we're going to use those alloys over here at Wodriak Station, which is currently pumping out corvettes, which is fine. That's exactly what we want it to be doing. We could also potentially... a Titan assembly yard would, I think, be too expensive to justify right now.
A study has been completed.
They have shifted. They're now heading to Heaven's Gate. Get up there, guys. Okay. Energy weapon damage, that's nice. Let's grab... gravitational analysis is the cheapest, but it's not the most important right now, now that we're in a slightly complicated war. So I think instead we're going to grab Flash Coolant 3. Okay. Now these guys are going to take pretty heavy losses fighting this station. That said, they can beat it if we don't get there in time. If we don't get there in time. Will we get there in time? Maybe. Especially with a round of corvettes coming out, I think we can win that. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to fight this war, I guess. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.